What's up guys, welcome back to Finance to Fly. My name is Luke and I'm here to help you elevate your travel while minimizing your spending. Today we're going to be going over a unique card, the Citi Double Cashback card. For starters, this card comes with a nice $0 annual fee and a sign-up bonus of $200 back after $1,500 spent in the first 6 months of opening the account, and that $200 is worth 20,000 Citi thank you points. So for this card, earnings rates are pretty simple. This is all unlimited. You earn 1% cash back on the purchase that you make, and then when you pay that purchase off, you make another 1% cash back. So you get 2% cash back pretty much. It has that little caveat, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much a 2% cash back card, unlimited for a consumer. And for a limited time, you are earning 5% back through the Citi travel portal, and I think this is only until the end of 2025. So for this card, there's really no benefits to the card other than you can turn that cash back into Citi thank you points, which then you can transfer over to airline partners, which makes it a really good option to stack this card with the Citi Strata Premier. Stacking those two cards, you get 2 to 3 points per dollar spent on pretty much everything you spend on, which is a really good solid setup. What is the card worth? Well, it's pretty simple. It's a 2% cashback card, so whatever you spend in uncategorized spend that isn't hit by a multiplier with another card, another issuer, stuff like that, you're getting an extra 1% cash back, which is nice. So like I mentioned before, we are doing some redemptions in this video because we can transfer those Citi cash back into Citi thank you points. So for these first redemptions, we're going to be taking advantage of some of Citi's great transfer partners. So I tried to find some very unique routings, and so this first one's going to be very unique. It's going to be Auckland, New Zealand, all the way to JFK, New York. This is going to be an Emirates business class. So instead of flying to the west coast of the United States, you're flying through Europe, through Middle East to the US. Not the most economical way, especially it's not the best way to use points to get back there, I'm pretty sure. It's gonna cost you 222,500 points and around $1,700 in taxes and fees. This same ticket though is around $6,600 to $6,700. So you are saving money but in getting a decent cent per point rate, but it's not the best. And it's definitely not the best Emirates redemption, but either way, you're gonna get a 2.24 cent per point rate, and you get that by taking the cash cost, subtracting the taxes and fees out of it, and then divided by the points amount. 2.24 cents per point is pretty good, especially for Citi thank you points. I mean, anything over 2 cents per point is good. You can do better with Emirates. Next up, we're gonna look at another business class. This one is going to be from Washington, D.C. to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia in Saudi Airlines business class. I thought this was an interesting route because I didn't know Saudi flew direct to the US, but I'm assuming it flies to Washington for political reasons. But this one-way nonstop ticket can be booked through Virgin Atlantic for only 100,000 miles and around $7 in taxes and fees. That same ticket is around $4,000, which gives you a cent per point rate of 4.03 cents per point, which is almost double of what we just showed you in the previous redemption, and it's pretty good. Lastly, we're gonna look at a sort of weird redemption. It's probably one of the coolest tickets in the sky you can book with points, 50%. Really, it's a lot more. It's called the Etihad Residence. Well, we're not gonna book into that. We're gonna book into their first class because in order to book into their first class, you either need to pay cash or points, and then to book into their residence, which is that 3-room suite. You get a bedroom, you get a bathroom with a private shower, and then a private seating area. To book into the residence, you also need to pay more points and more cash for both people, especially since you can book 2 people in the residence. So pretty much you can either book with cash, which is gonna be like $7,000 to $8,000, as we'll see, or book another $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 into the residence per person, by the way. So if you're only traveling alone, it's not the worst, but 2 people, oh, wow, this is a big ticket item. And for points, it costs 200,000 a person to book into the first class, and then another like million points to book into the residence. If you had a ton of points sitting around, I mean, I don't see why not, but first class is still pretty good. They have their own bed, they have their own seating, stuff like that. I think if I were to ever do this booking, I just would book in the first class and say, hey, if I can get the residence for like $500 upgrade day of departure, then I'd be okay. pay, but first class is good enough, right? You do get your separate bed from your seat in that plan. But either said, one person, one way, 200,000 miles, or two person, one way, 400,000 miles. And the taxes and fees are going to be for two people around $1,100, so it's still not cheap. But the nice thing is, for just the first class part of that flight, it costs $15,500, $600. And that's for two people, which gets you a cent per point rate of 3.62 cents per point, but you're also spending 400,000 points for about a 12 to 15 hour experience. You know, if this is something you want to do, I definitely think it's worth it. I might, just because I have a ton of points, but still, 400,000 points can get you 4 round trip tickets in business class to Europe, or countless economy class tickets to Europe, stuff like that. I mean, that's no amount of points to take a stick at, and I don't know if it's worth it spending it on one ticket. But either way, if you were to want to upgrade into the residence, it would cost around 900,000 points a person, or probably $3,000 to $4,000 a person. So add another 8,000 or 2 million points onto that total ticket to upgrade to the residence. So what do I think of this card, and who do I think this card is for? Well, it is a 2% unlimited cashback card. I mean, yeah, they have that little caveat where it's 1% when you buy, 1% when you pay. It's pretty much 2% cashback. Why? Because you always pay your balance on time and in full. There's not many other cards out there that do offer a 2% cashback. For consumers, I know on business side, you do have some options with Amex and Chase, but there's not really an option for the personal card side, which I like to see from Citi offering this. Not only that, I like how you're able to use them as transferable points and be able to book with some of their partners. Thing is, it's Citi, so their awful customer service is coming right with this card. You get flagged for fraud and it's not fraud, well, you're just gonna probably be waiting 7 to 10 days before you can use your card again, just because you're gonna probably need to ship out a new card, do all that. It's a lot of pain in the butt work to work with Citi in order to get 2% cash back. That almost makes it not worth it. Rather take the 1.5% cash back with the Freedom Unlimited from Chase. But if you can put up with Citi's bad customer service, or just haven't had a bad problem with them, I would definitely jump on this card, especially when you combine it with the Citi Strata Premier. It seems like it's coming up sooner and sooner when they might be transferring Citi thank you points over to American Airlines. And if you stack up a 2% card with the Citi Strata Premier and buying those points, you get a couple 100,000 points over to American Airlines a couple days into the start of the transferable period. I think that's a really good opportunity. Obviously, there's downsides if Citi doesn't take American Airlines on as a transfer partner. You have a bunch of Citi points, you have bad customer service. It could take months to get those points out. For all I know, Citi's customer service might flag you for fraud or fraudulent activity when you go to transfer your points out, and you might be shut down for weeks at a time when you're trying to transfer those points out. I don't know, I just know that their customer service is bad, and if you can deal with it, then this card is definitely for you. It's 2% cash back. You don't hear that on the consumer side of cards, only on business. So I'm gonna say it one more time. If you can deal with Citi's customer service, then this card is for you. It's a 2% cash back card, as long as you turn those into transferable points, or even cash out the cash back to statement credits, something like that. It's worth it. It's a good 2% cash back earner. All in all, what do you think? Do you have the Citi Double Cash card? Do you have any Citi card? Do you have any experience with Citi? I know I've heard from my buddy who has a Citi card. He does not like it as much just because of their customer service. What do you think of their customer service? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, have a great day.